the Lorax. At the edge of a gray, smoky town, where the wind blew dust and the skies were dull, there lived a man called the Once-Lair. His house was tall and crooked, and children whispered about him, for no one really knew what he did. One curious child came knocking one day. "Please, sir," the child asked, "can you tell me why the world outside is so empty? Why are there no trees? No birds? No fish in the pond?" The Once-Lair peered out from his window with sad eyes. "Sit down, and I'll tell you everything. It all began long ago, when the world was green and beautiful. The beautiful Truffula Valley. Back then," the Once-Lair said, "I wandered into a place filled with truffula trees. Their tufts were soft as silk and colorful as rainbows pink, yellow, orange, and purple. The air smelled sweet, the grass was green, and the animals were happy. Barbaloots played in the shade, swans sang in the air, and humming fish splashed in the pond. It was a paradise." The Once-Lair smiled faintly. "I thought I had found the perfect place." The invention of the Thanid. The Once-Lair wanted to be rich and successful. When he touched the tufts of the truffula trees, he realized they could be used to make something new, something useful for everyone. He called it a Thanid. "A Thanid," he said proudly, "is a fine thing that all people need. It can be a shirt, a hat, a sock, or a blanket. Everyone will want one." So, he chopped down one truffula tree and knitted his first Thanid. The Lorax appears as soon as the tree fell. A small, mustached creature popped out of the stump. He was short and round with a booming voice. "I am the Lorax," he said, "and I speak for the trees. The truffula trees have no tongues, and I speak for them. You must not chop them down. Without the trees, the Barbaloots will have no fruit, the swimmy swans will have no air to sing, and the humming fish will lose their pond." But the Once-Lair only laughed. "I chopped down just one tree. What harm can it do? Besides, I'm making something people will love." The greed grows. Soon, people wanted They bought them as fast as the Once-Lair could make them. To keep up, he built a factory. He invited his family to help, and together they chopped down more and more truffula trees. The Lorax came back many times, pleading, "Stop this. You are hurting the land, the sky, and the animals." But the Once-Lair shook his head. "Business is business. I must keep going." The Barbaloots grew hungry and had to leave. The swans' songs were silenced by smog. The humming fish coughed as the pond filled with waste. Still, the chopping went on. The last truffula tree. At last, one terrible day, the very last truffula tree was cut down. The axes fell silent. The factory stopped. There were no more tufts to use, no more trees to chop. The Once-Lair looked around at the barren land, the gray skies, and the empty homes of the animals. The Lorax stood silently, then lifted himself by the seat of his pants and floated away. But before he left, he carved one word into the stone: "Unless." The Once-Lair's regret. The Once-Lair finished his story with a sigh. "Now you see what happened. My greed destroyed the Truffula Valley. The Lorax was right. Without the trees, nothing can live." But his message still remains. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not a seed of hope. Then the Once-Lair opened a small box and handed the child the very last truffula seed. "Plant it," he said. "Care for it. Give it water, love, and protection. If you make the world beautiful again, maybe the Lorax and all his friends will return." The child held the seed gently, understanding how important it was. Moral: care for the environment. Even the smallest person can make a big difference because our world depends on the choices we make.